The story begins in the city of Los Angeles. At night, a truck is moving down the road. This is not an ordinary truck. This is the kind of truck that carries millions of dollars and delivers them to the bank. Inside this truck, 2 guards are sitting in the front and 2 guards are sitting in the back. And suddenly, this truck stops outside a donut shop. Actually, the guards were hungry, so 2 guards get out of the vehicle and go inside the shop to buy food, while the other 2 guards stay inside for the safety of the vehicle. And right then, a black car arrives there. 4 men get out of that car, and all 4 of them have covered their faces with masks. Now, as soon as the 2 guards come outside with the food, the masked men point their guns at the guards. Here, one guard sitting inside the truck sees those people, and that guard quickly informs the police. Then, a masked thief comes near the guard sitting inside the truck, and that thief tells the guard to get out of the vehicle. But when that guard refuses to come out, the thief makes a hole in the truck's window. Then he hooks a rope into it and pulls the entire window out with a vehicle. Now that guard tries to run, but that thief kills the guard. After hearing the sound of gunfire, the police quickly arrive there. Now a shootout starts between the thieves and the police. After a long exchange of gunfire, these people kill all the policemen. And here, looking at their shooting skills, we understand that these are not ordinary thieves. All of them are former US military members who have already retired. Now, another partner of these thieves calls them and tells them to get out of there quickly because more police are coming. As soon as they hear this news, they quickly steal the truck and leave from there. But before leaving, they plant a bomb there and make it explode, so that after the police arrive, they won't find any evidence against them. And after a short while, they reach their hideout. There, they change their clothes. Here, the team leader Ray is very angry at everyone because their plan was to steal the truck quietly without killing anyone. But now, these people have killed some policemen, so now the police will be searching for them everywhere. Here we find out that the truck they stole was completely empty. There was not even a single dollar inside it. And these people already knew this because they were going to use this truck to carry out a much bigger robbery later. Here, one member of their team, whose name is Tony, tells their leader Ray that they should send someone to the place where they just stole the truck, so they can find out what the police are going to do to search for them. Ray thinks Tony's idea is right, so Ray sends one of his partners, Bosco, to that place. The team leader Ray takes Tony's words very seriously because Tony is a very clever and intelligent person, and he is also a very good driver. In the next scene, we see Detective Nick. Nick is a tough police officer who absolutely does not get along with thieves, and especially, he goes after criminals with full force. Along with that, Nick is also a very wild and reckless man who is always involved with women. And even today, he secretly enters his own house through the window. As soon as he comes inside the house, he opens the fridge and starts eating something. Right then, his wife comes there. Here, we find out that the 2 of them do not get along very well. But then Nick does something that makes his wife extremely angry. Nick sends a message to his wife by mistake instead of sending it to his girlfriend. After reading it, his wife gets very angry, and she takes the kids and leaves him. Nick tries very hard to stop his wife, but she does not listen to anything Nick says. Now, feeling troubled, Nick comes and sits on the sofa in his house, and right then, he gets a call. In that call, he is told about the robbery that happened at night. After that, Nick goes straight to the place where the thieves killed some officers during the night, and along with that, those thieves also stole a truck. Here, Nick observes every single thing very carefully. Nick asks, "What was inside that truck?" Then an officer there tells him that the truck was completely empty. After hearing this, Nick falls into deep thought. Why would someone create so much bloodshed for an empty truck? But now, slowly, Nick starts to understand that these thieves are definitely planning something big. That is why he asks the others, "Did you find any fingerprints of those thieves here?" Then they say, "No, those thieves were extremely clever. Before leaving, they used a bomb blast to destroy all their fingerprints." Now, when Nick does not find any other way to catch these thieves, he tells his team, "I need all the CCTV footage from this place." After saying this, he starts leaving. Meanwhile, at some distance, we see Bosco. The leader of the thieves' team, Ray, had sent him here on Tony's suggestion, so that Bosco could find out who was going to handle this case. And Bosco secretly takes photos of Detective Nick and his team. Then he sends those photos directly to his leader, Ray. When Ray looks at those photos, he finds out that Detective Nick is going to handle this case. After that, Ray starts researching Nick, and Ray finds out that Detective Nick is a very crazy kind of man. Everyone calls him a cop gangster. He does not even listen to the government, and he solves cases in his own way. Along with that, Ray finds out that once Detective Nick goes after a case, he does not stop until he solves it. After seeing all this, Ray understands that they are dealing with a very dangerous man. Meanwhile, we see Nick, who has started working on solving the case with his team. Nick tells his team, "I need the details of all the robberies that have happened here." Then one of his partners says, "In the last 3 months, several robberies have happened in Los Angeles, but all the robberies were done so carefully that, until now, no fingerprints of any thief have been found, and there is no evidence against them either." After hearing this, Nick understands that all these thieves are extremely sharp, because the way they are committing robberies with perfect planning and the way they are fighting the police like soldiers clearly shows that all these thieves have served in the army before. That is why Nick tells his team to pull the list of all those people who were in the army before and then went to prison. Now, while researching, Nick's team finds out about a man named Ray. Ray used to be in the US Army, but later he went to prison in a murder case. And after serving his sentence in prison, Ray is now free. After hearing this, Nick asks his partner, when was Ray released from prison? Now, when Nick's partner pulls up the date on which Ray was released from prison, after seeing that date, Nick's partner is shocked. Because ever since Ray came out of prison, robberies started happening in Los Angeles. That is why now Nick becomes completely sure that Ray is behind all these robberies, and Ray has an entire team. Here, they find out that Ray has very strong connections with a man named Tony, and that man named Tony is a bartender. Ray often goes to the bar to meet Tony. As soon as he finds this out, Nick goes straight to that bar where the man named Tony works as a bartender. Here, Nick sees Tony. And inside the bar, Nick behaves with Tony in a completely normal way. Nick does not let it show that he is a police detective. Instead, Nick starts talking to Tony about random things. But as soon as Tony's shift at the bar ends and he comes and sits in his car, Nick arrives there, and Nick punches Tony hard, knocking him unconscious. After a while, when Tony opens his eyes, he finds himself in an unknown place. Tony cannot understand how he got there, and as soon as he comes out of the room, he sees Nick and his team dancing with some girls. Now, when Nick sees Tony, he makes Tony sit on a chair, and he asks him, "For what purpose did you commit the robbery, and who do you work for?" After hearing this, Tony smiles and says, "You picked up the wrong man. I am not that kind of guy. I am a decent man who works at a bar." After hearing this, Nick shows him a photo. In that photo, Tony was standing with Ray, and Nick asks Tony, "What are you doing with this man in this photo?" After seeing this, Tony understands that these people have found out the truth about him. But still, Tony does not admit it, and he says, "That is not me in this photo. That is some other man." Then one of Nick's partners tells Tony, "You are sitting just one step away from your death, and you are still lying. So tell us the whole truth, or you will be killed." But Tony clearly refuses to say anything. Seeing this, Nick gets angry, and he sends all the girls present there outside. After that, Nick grabs Tony by the throat and says to him, "You must be thinking that we will put you in jail, but that is not going to happen at all. We will keep torturing you until you tell the truth." Now, Tony also understands that these people will not let him go without getting the truth out of him. So Tony starts telling the whole story and says, "I do not know much. I do not even know how to fire a gun. I am only their driver, and during the robbery, I drive the vehicle." After that, Nick asks, "How did you meet these people for the first time?" Then Tony says, "Everyone who comes to the bar where I work knows that I am a very good driver. That is why one day, a man who worked with me at the bar introduced me to Bosco, and Bosco took me to Ray. Bosco told Ray about me and said, 'He is a very good driver.' At first, Ray did not have much trust in my driving, but when Ray sat in the car with me for testing and saw my driving, he was very impressed by my driving skills, and he included me in his team. After that, for the first time, I robbed a bank with them. After robbing the bank, I received my share of the money, and since then, this has been going on. I rob banks with them, and I get my share of the money. Other than that, I do not know anything else, because I stand outside the bank with the vehicle, and I drive the vehicle and bring them back." Then Nick asks, "Where are they going to commit the next robbery?" To which Tony says, "I do not know anything, because I am only their driver. They do not tell me anything. One day before the day they are going to commit the robbery, they tell me where we are going to do the robbery, and after the robbery, they give me my share of the money and send me away." After hearing all this, Nick tells Tony, "You can go, but from today, you will have to work for us, and whatever you find out from them, you will have to tell us every single thing. That is why I am setting you free instead of putting you in jail." After that, Tony starts leaving from there. Now Nick has received the full details of those thieves, but the biggest problem for Nick is that he does not have any evidence to catch them. That is why now they wait for the moment when those people commit the next robbery, and they will catch them red-handed. In the next scene, we see Ray. He puts his entire team in the vehicle and brings them outside the biggest bank in Los Angeles. After that, Ray takes his whole team into the building beside this bank, and he says, "This bank is the biggest federal bank in Los Angeles. Until today, no one has been able to rob it, but this bank is our next target." Ray says, "It is not that nobody has ever tried to rob this bank. This bank has been attacked 57 times, but every time the thieves lost their lives. Because the security here is extremely strict. If any man stares at this bank from outside for more than 2 minutes, the guards come and catch that man. That is why stealing from here is difficult, but not impossible. After that, Ray comes back to the hideout and starts explaining the plan to his partners. And he tells them, every day, this bank has $500 to $700 million in cash. Because such a huge amount is inside the bank, security guards are present in every single place. And the worst thing for us is that this bank has the serial number of every single note, and those numbers are registered in the computer. So if someone steals money from this bank and spends that money anywhere in the world outside, the bank people will track that person through the serial number of that note and catch him in 2 minutes, because they have the note number. Now, after hearing all this, Ray's partners start asking, then how are we actually going to steal it? Then Ray explains, because this is the biggest bank in Los Angeles, the money from all the other small and big banks in Los Angeles comes to this bank. And when they start counting that money with machines, the machines in this bank separate the torn, old, and damaged notes. After that, all those old and damaged notes are entered into the computer and their serial numbers are removed from the computer data. Then those notes are put into a machine, destroyed, and turned into trash. In this way, the bank has no record of the destroyed notes. And every day, out of 500 to 700 million, they turn 30 million into trash. And we have to steal those $30 million in old and damaged notes before they become trash. In this way, if we use those notes anywhere in the world, the bank people cannot catch us, because they will not have the serial numbers of those old notes. After hearing all this, everyone falls into deep thought, and they say, but how will we get inside? Then Ray explains his next plan and says, we will use the bank truck that we stole. Wearing guard uniforms, we will enter through the back side of the bank, because there is not much security at the back entrance. They only check the driver. But before carrying out this mission, we have to send one man inside the bank so that he can properly inspect the bank from the inside. And the very next day, Tony starts working as a courier boy at the restaurant next to that bank. Now, as soon as a lady from inside the bank orders a food parcel, Tony picks up 2 parcels instead of picking up one lady's food, and he goes inside the bank. As soon as he enters, Tony is checked very carefully. Then, at the counter, Tony is given an entry card. With that, he could now enter the bank at any time. After that, Tony gives the food to that lady. After delivering the food to the lady, Tony goes to the bathroom and hides the second parcel above the bathroom ceiling. But as soon as he comes out of the bank, Nick's team sees him, because Nick's team had already been keeping an eye on Tony. Now, when Nick's partners inform Nick that Tony had gone inside the biggest federal bank in Los Angeles, Nick gets worried after hearing this news, and he says, they do not have the guts to rob the Federal Bank of Los Angeles, because robbing that bank is impossible, and they cannot be so stupid that they would try to rob the federal bank. But Nick is still afraid, because he knew that those people were even crazier than him, and they could do anything. That same night, Ray and his partners were eating dinner with their families at a restaurant. Right then, Detective Nick arrives there. Here, Tony also sees Nick, and Tony gets nervous after seeing Nick, because Tony was afraid that Nick might say in front of Ray that he is working with him. And that is exactly what happens. Nick walks straight up to Tony and says to him, I know you. We met a few days ago at the gym. What are you doing here? Seeing this, all the people in Tony's team start looking at Tony with suspicion. Actually, Nick does this because he wants to make all of them fight among themselves, and he succeeds in doing that. Now, after eating, Ray takes Tony to his hideout. Ray is very angry at Tony, and he tells his partners to check him to see whether Tony is a cop or not. After that, Ray points a gun at him and says, how do you know that cop? And what did you tell the police about us? Then Tony starts telling everything here, and he says, those people caught me, and before I got caught, he already knew about all of you. He tried very hard to get the truth out of me, but I did not tell them the whole truth. Instead, I told them I was only your driver and got myself released, and those people do not know anything about our robbery planning. Now, after hearing these things, Ray tells Tony, go, and tell those people that we are going to do the robbery on Friday, and no matter what, our decision will not change. After hearing this, Tony says, doing that would be stupid, and we could get caught. But Ray says, trust me, and what I told you, go and tell Nick. Now Tony, even though he does not want to, leaves toward Nick. and after a short while, he reaches Nick. Then Nick starts asking Tony about their next plan. But here, Tony first gets angry at Nick and says, "You almost got me killed. All of them started suspecting me. That is why they were going to kill me. But I tricked them and saved myself." Here, Tony tells Nick, "You are dealing with very wrong people. They are even more dangerous than you, and they are going to commit the robbery this coming Friday, and they say that nobody can stop them." Then Nick says, "Which place are they going to rob?" To which Tony says, "I do not know, because they never tell me about their planning. That is why I will only find out one day before the coming Friday. Then I will tell you." After hearing this, Nick says, "No problem. I will find out where they are going to rob on Friday." After that, Tony leaves from there, and Nick starts working. Nick wanted to know where those people were going to commit the next robbery, and Nick finds out that Ray is in a relationship with a prostitute who works at a brothel. As soon as he finds this out, Nick goes straight to that club. There, a girl comes near him and starts dancing. After that, Nick takes that girl to a room. Nick wants to use that girl because he knew that this girl had a relationship with Ray. That is why Nick starts getting close to that girl. And that girl tells him that these people are going to commit the next robbery at Pico Rivera Bank. After hearing this, Nick becomes very happy, because now Nick has found out the next target of those thieves. But as soon as Nick comes out of the room, Ray arrives there, and both of them ignore each other and go their separate ways. Here, we find out that Ray had intentionally told his mistress to tell all this to Nick. He had told his girlfriend to go to Nick and tell him the name of the bank. Now, finally, the day arrives when these people are going to commit the robbery. After that, all these people start preparing, and on the other side, Nick and his team also get ready. Here, both the police and the thieves are tense, because both groups knew that anything could happen today, and after a short while, the team of thieves enters Pico Rivera Bank, and in no time, they take everyone hostage. Now, after taking full control of the bank, Ray grabs the bank manager and tells him to call the police. When the manager connects the call to the police, Ray starts telling the manager his demands. "We need $10 million and a helicopter, and outside, we should not see even a single police officer. If the police fail to deliver the money on time, we will start killing people here one by one." Meanwhile, Nick is standing outside the bank with his team, and right then, local police cars arrive there. Nick starts arguing with them. "This is our case. We have been working for the last several days to catch these people. So you people leave from here." Now, here, when Ray secretly looks through the window, he realizes that some more police cars have arrived there. Seeing this, Ray gets angry, and he tells one of his men to take a girl into a room and kill her. Now, following his leader's order, that man does exactly that. He takes a girl into a room and shoots her. After hearing the sound of the gunshot, all the police officers standing outside become alert. Then, from outside, a call comes to the bank manager from the police. Then the bank manager tells the police, "Arrange a helicopter and $10 million for these people as soon as possible, because they have already killed one girl because the money did not arrive on time. And now, if you people delay any longer, they will kill us too." Then the police tell the manager, "Do not worry, we are going to arrange a helicopter and the money soon." Right then, here, we see one partner of the thieves whose name is Mac. Mac is a hacker, and he has hacked the phone line of the biggest federal bank in Los Angeles. And Mac calls his partners present inside Pico Rivera Bank and tells them, "You people quickly load the money into the truck, because now the time has arrived for the money to go from Pico Rivera Bank in the truck to the biggest federal bank in Los Angeles." After that, the thieves take the manager to the bank vault, and they make him open the vault. After the vault opens, these people take all the money out of the vault and load it into a truck. Now, after all the work is completed, they make a huge explosion inside the bank. After hearing the sound of the explosion, the police outside think that those people have broken the vault. But Nick feels that something is wrong, and right then, Nick's eyes fall on the sewer line there. Seeing that, Nick understands that this was not the sound of breaking the vault. It was the sound of breaking the path to the tunnel. As soon as Nick realizes this, he enters the bank. After going inside, they see that all the people those thieves had taken hostage are completely safe. And when Nick goes into the room where those thieves had supposedly killed a girl, Nick finds out that they did not kill any girl. That girl is completely fine, and the gunshot sound that came was only a drama. And when these people reach the room near the vault, they see a very big hole there. After seeing it, They understand that the thieves fooled them and escaped through the sewer line. Meanwhile, we see Ray and one of his partners. They are wearing bank guard uniforms, and they are driving a truck. This is the same truck that we saw at the beginning of the story. And now they have painted this truck and completely changed its design, so that it looks exactly like an original truck used to carry money for a bank. And now, from the vault of the Pico Rivera bank that they had robbed, they have taken all the money and loaded it into the truck. And now, they are taking this money toward the biggest federal bank in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, we see Ray's hacker partner. He had hacked the contact line of the Los Angeles Federal Bank, and here, he calls the guards of the Los Angeles Federal Bank and says, "Our truck carrying the money is going to arrive in a short while." And here, we find out the whole truth. The money they just loaded into the truck from the small bank, Pico Rivera, is the money they are going to exchange with old notes at the biggest federal bank in Los Angeles. Because the money they have just loaded into the truck, they do not want to steal that money. Because if they steal this money right now, the serial numbers of these notes are registered in the federal bank's computer. Because of that, they can be caught. That is why now they want to leave the new notes, whose serial numbers the bank has, inside the bank. And they want to steal the old, torn notes, the notes whose serial number records had already been erased by the bank. And after a short while, they reach the back entrance of the federal bank. There, a guard stops them at the gate, and they show that guard a fake ID. It looked completely real. That is why the guard cannot recognize the fake ID. Along with that, they had already been informed on the call that the truck was going to arrive in a short while. So the guard does not suspect even a little that, instead of guards, thieves are sitting inside this truck. After that, the guard lets the truck go inside. As soon as they enter, they take out 2 big money boxes from the truck. These are the same money boxes that they had just looted from the vault of Pico Rivera Bank, and they start taking these 2 boxes of money toward the counting area. Here, we see that they have hidden Tony inside one of the money boxes, and when these people reach the counting area, a guard comes and tells them, "Counting the money will take time, so you people wait outside the department." After that, the guard brings that money box, the one Tony was hiding inside, into the counting department. Here, Ray calls his partner Bosco and says, "Tony has reached the counting department, so cut the power here quickly." Now Bosco, who had already secretly entered the lower floor, shuts off the power of the entire bank from there. Because of the power failure, all the people working in the counting department inside the bank come out of the department, and they start waiting for the power to be fixed. Now Tony was left completely alone inside the department, inside a money box. After that, Tony turns on a strobe light. Because of that, all the cameras become blurred. After the cameras become blurred, Tony quickly comes out of the money box, and he sees that there is no one there. Now Tony quickly starts filling bags with those torn and old bills present there. These are the bills that had already been counted once, and the guards would not count them again. These were the bills whose serial numbers were removed from the computer data, and they were going to be turned into trash. Now Tony quickly fills many bags with money, and then he starts throwing those bags into the trash bin present there. Tony throws the bags full of money into the trash bin because, after a while, the garbage truck will come. And thinking of this money as trash, it will throw it outside. Then these people will go there and pick up the same money. Meanwhile, in the control room, the guards start getting suspicious. How did all the cameras suddenly go bad? That is why some guards start coming toward the counting department. Seeing this, Ray says to Tony through the wireless mic, "Quickly throw all the money into the trash box because some guards are coming toward you." After hearing this, Tony gets nervous, and he starts filling the money into bags even faster and throwing them into the trash box. Now, after throwing a lot of money into the trash box, Tony understands that the guards must be about to reach there. That is why Tony quickly opens the ventilation grill, and by the time the guards reach there, Tony has already entered through the ventilation path. Now here, the guards start counting the money inside the department, and the money is completely correct. The entire amount that was supposed to come from Pico Rivera Bank is present there, and the guards do not realize at all that money has been stolen from here, because Tony had stolen the money that they had already counted before. Now, after the money is complete, those guards tell Ray, "The money is complete, you people can leave from here." After hearing this, Ray and his partner start leaving, and all the money that Tony had thrown into the trash, now a guard comes there, and he starts taking that trash box to throw it into the garbage truck. Meanwhile, inside the bank, the lady who had ordered food a few days earlier orders food again from the restaurant near the bank. But this time, Mac, the thieves' partner, picks up the call, because he had hacked the restaurant's contact line. And Mac tells that lady, Your food is going to reach you in 5 minutes. Now here, Tony moves through the ventilation path and reaches the place where, a few days earlier, he had hidden a parcel above the washroom ceiling. And Tony comes down through that path. Then he goes directly to that lady and gives her the food. After that, Tony comes out of the bank without any trouble, because he had the courier boy card. Because of that, the guards do not suspect Tony, and the guards let Tony go, thinking he is a courier boy. But then, the bank guards receive a call. In that call, the lady who ordered the food says, "This food is several days old, so do not let that courier boy leave." But now it was already too late, because Tony had already left from there. Meanwhile, the garbage truck empties that trash box into the truck, the same box in which Tony had filled the money. And as soon as the garbage truck starts leaving, Ray and his partner sit in their truck and start following that garbage truck. But then, at the signal, another garbage truck exactly like it arrives, and the drivers of both vehicles signal to each other and start driving on different routes. Here, Ray is not able to note the number plate of the garbage truck, and he starts following one of the trucks. Meanwhile, Nick's team is searching for the thieves across the whole city, and right then, they see Tony on the road. After seeing Tony, they immediately catch him, and Nick starts beating Tony badly, because Nick had understood that Tony was betraying them. Here, Tony tells Nick the whole truth, and along with that, Tony also gives Nick Ray's location. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ray follows the garbage truck and reaches the place where the bank vehicles empty the trash. Now, after the garbage truck is emptied, these people start picking up the bags from the trash, the same bags Tony had filled with money. And Ray puts all those bags into the trunk of his vehicle. But Ray does not check what is actually inside those bags. And right then, Ray gets a call from his hacker partner, Mac. Mac tells Ray, "Tony has been caught by the police, and Tony has given your location to the police. So leave the place where you are right now, because the police are going to arrive there soon." As soon as Ray hears this news, he gets into the vehicle with his partners and leaves from there. After coming a little further, they get stuck in traffic. Right then, Nick sees them from behind. After seeing Ray, Nick and his team start getting ready, and Nick handcuffs Tony inside the car. Here, Ray also realizes that Nick has seen them. That is why these people also get ready. And in no time, a shootout starts between them. Bullets start flying everywhere. One of those bullets hits Bosco in the neck, and Bosco is killed. Seeing this, Ray becomes very angry, and Ray kills the police officer who had shot Bosco. Then, right here, the police also kill Ray's other partner. Now, because Ray is alone, the police are overpowering him. That is why Ray starts running from there. Then Nick also starts chasing him. After going a little further, when Ray is jumping from a container, Nick shoots him from behind. Because of that, Ray gets badly injured. Now, while trying to save himself, Ray hides behind a vehicle. And right then, Nick also arrives there. Nick tells Ray to surrender. But instead of surrendering, Ray points his gun at Nick. Then Nick, in return fire, riddles Ray with bullets, and Ray is killed. Now Nick had brought all the thieves to their end. Only Tony was left, and as soon as Nick comes back to his car, he sees that Tony has freed himself and escaped. Seeing this, Nick gets very angry. Now, when Nick checks the bags in the trunk of Ray's car, he finds out that there is no money in these bags. Instead, they are filled with trash. That is why Nick cannot understand how those people could be so stupid that they gave their lives for trash. After a while, the FBI team arrives there, and the FBI team sees that not a single dollar has been stolen from the bank, because instead of stealing money, these thieves had stolen trash. That is why the FBI closes the case. But Nick keeps thinking about this robbery for many days, and then his eyes fall on the photo of the last surviving man from the thieves team, and that person is none other than Tony. That is why Nick goes to the bar where Tony used to work. Nick thought that maybe he would find some secret there. Now, when Nick arrives there, the owner of the bar tells him that Tony left the job 2 days ago and went away from there. Now, as Nick is coming back, his eyes fall on a photo in front of him. In that photo, Tony is sitting with a football team. Along with Tony, the thieves' hacker partner Mac is also there. And we also see the man who is taking the real money truck, about which the police had no idea. Right then, Nick sees that federal bank employees are everywhere there. That is why he goes outside. And after coming outside, he sees that the federal bank is right next to the bar where Tony used to work. And here, Nick finds out the whole truth. Tony was the mastermind of this entire game. While working at the bar next to the bank, Tony had taken every single piece of information from the bank employees while they were drunk, and along with him, he had also included the driver of the bank's garbage truck in his plan. The entire planning of this robbery was made by Tony. He did not only fool me, he also fooled Ray and his team, and he stole an amount that the bank has no record of at all. And now, even after knowing everything, I cannot catch him, because I do not have any evidence against him. At the end of the movie, we see Tony in a bar in London, and even now he works as a bartender. And this time, his bar is next to a diamond exchange company. Right then, when an employee of the diamond exchange company comes to Tony, Tony gives him a drink for free. Seeing this, we find out that this time, Tony's next target is the diamond exchange company. And with this story comes to an end. If you like this video, then please make sure to subscribe to our channel and like the video.